Hi, my name is Matt Harline, and I want to tell you a little bit about what my mission in life is, what my purpose is. I want to inspire people, I want to inspire you to embrace the things that you can do instead of the things that you cannot do, to stretch your limits, to approach life in a positive way. And I want to tell you a couple stories about myself and why this has become my mission. So about 2 years ago, I was standing between my house and my art studio. And this art studio was in Concow in Northern California, in Butte County. It had just recently been a wildfire that roared through that area. You may have heard of the Camp Fire that destroyed the town of Paradise. Well, my studio and house were just east of Paradise, and there was nothing left of my art studio and my house. I remember standing there 2 years ago and thinking, well, I guess that was my practice round. I get to start all over again. While combing through the ashes, trying to find anything that might be salvageable, I found a lump of blue pigment that was left over from a tube of ultramarine blue paint. And thought that was quite interesting to find that. And as I was going through these ashes, I thought of a movie that I saw when I was a little child. Back in the mid-1960s, a movie from Disney called Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And there was a song in that movie that has the refrain that goes, "From the ashes of disaster grow the roses of success." I know that sounds kind of cheesy to talk about something like that, but you know, I did stand there and think, well, now I guess I get to start looking for the roses. Where can I find the roses? And a thought came to me, and I started collecting some of the ashes, the charred wood. This is a little piece of that wood that I collected from my studio. And I thought, I'm going to collect this, and I got a mortar and pestle to grind up those pieces of ash. And I wanted to make it into some paint that I could include in my paintings. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. But you know, this isn't something that you can get over very easily, losing something like that. I remember, one of the roughest parts of losing that studio and the house was hanging in the studio was some of my high school artwork from 40-something years ago. And I remember having nightmares after where I could see those paintings, those drawings, burning, sitting on the wall, just hanging on the wall, burning and being destroyed. I had other nightmares of, while I wasn't actually there when the fire occurred, I remember seeing videos from Paradise of people escaping the fire, and I had those images in my mind, and I had nightmares of me trying to drive out through a similar kind of a thing. These are things that are tough to get through. But I was able to find the roses. I found that by adding these ashes to yellow paint, that the paint turned into a nice, beautiful color of green that I use in my paintings to represent trees and grasses and other natural green colors that just bring it to life, because I've added the ashes of that disaster of my studio. About 5 years ago, I was a manager in a high-tech company, and I had an accident while riding a bicycle. And that accident put me in the hospital for 5 days with a traumatic brain injury. I tried to go back to work, but I couldn't. But I was able, with that time that I had, I was able to pick up a paintbrush and do the kinds of things that I'd always wanted to do from when I was in high school. And I started to become an artist. And that helped me to be able to find things that I could do, that I could express my feelings, understand myself. And doing these paintings really helped in my recovery from the brain injury. And then in applying a few years later, having this fire, finding a way to turn the ashes of the disaster into some roses for myself and for others. I have been painting pictures for people that tell their story, that depict their challenges and their trials, but in a way that shows what they can do instead of the things that they've lost. There are so many things in this life that will help you there are so many things in this life that challenge you, that take things away, that make things harder. But I've found, at least for me and for the people that I've been working with and painting for, that remembering the things that are good, the things that you can do, remembering those things bring much more health and happiness to you. And that's really what I want to do. I want to be able to represent your life in a way that will help you heal and grow and remember the things that you can do. I hope this has been helpful for you, and I'd love to have an opportunity to talk with you more about these things and your life and hear your story. Thanks a lot.